And now the Northern News, read by Dorina Brown. The threatened national dock strike. The government is likely to offer higher rates of severance pay in the hope that more dockers will leave voluntarily, and meanwhile the redundancies at Liverpool have been deferred for 2 weeks. The dockers say they'll call a strike unless 178 stevedores are found new jobs when 2 firms at the Port of Liverpool close later this month. One of the country's leading dyestuffs manufacturers is to close down for 2 months because of lack of work. The shutdown at the Clayton Aniline Company in Greater Manchester will affect the whole workforce of 1,300 people. The firm blames the current economic situation. The industrial tribunal in the case of the Nottinghamshire teacher who refused to take a class has been adjourned indefinitely for talks aimed at an out-of-court settlement. Mrs. Eileen Crosby, aged 37, was fired from her job as head of the nursery unit at the Robert Mellor School in Nottingham when she refused to teach a class she said was overcrowded. There have been new developments over last Saturday's soccer violence at Oldham. Sheffield Wednesday's manager, Jack Charlton, has been reported to the Football Association for remarks made to the referee while the game was stopped. Rugby League and the St Helens Club made a record loss of more than £126,000 last season. Most of the money went on buying and selling players, but gate receipts were also down £5,000 on last season. And now, before the weather, a reminder that our regional news bulletins and weather forecasts end today. The London Weather Centre will still be providing forecasts for the whole country before the main news bulletins on Radio 4. In addition, a detailed regional weather forecast will be given at 6:25 each morning, except Sunday, starting tomorrow. Local news is now given extensively by BBC local radio stations, and in the north they're Radio Manchester, Merseyside, Blackburn, Leeds, Humberside, Sheffield and Radio Stoke. They can be heard on both VHF and medium wave. Details of where to find them on your dial are in the Radio Times. But now our regional weather forecast from the north of England. All parts of the region will start very windy, with westerly gales or severe gales in the more exposed places, and in particular near hills and coasts. A gradual decrease in wind speed will occur overnight, with a change to southwesterly taking place in western districts during the afternoon. Occasional showers, perhaps heavy over Cumbria, and some hilly districts will largely die out in central and eastern parts tonight, then redevelop for a time tomorrow. But thickening cloud will spread in from the west after midday. Outbreaks of rain reach the Isle of Man during the afternoon and districts to the west of the Pennines by early evening. Temperatures tonight falling to centigrade, 54 Fahrenheit in most places, and tomorrow ranging from 16 centigrade, 61 Fahrenheit near coasts, 18 centigrade, 64 Fahrenheit in central and eastern districts. The outlook for Sunday is unsettled with further showers or outbreaks of rain, but some sunny intervals are also expected and near normal temperatures. Well, that's the end of the weather forecast then, and, I'm afraid, the final broadcast of the Northern News and weather. These bulletins have been stopped because the BBC has been forced to make stringent economies in regional broadcasting for reasons that are well known. So this is the finish of close on 35 years of broadcasting from this sound continuity studio high up in Old Broadcasting House in Piccadilly, Manchester. And in this final broadcast, let's just remember some of the old newsreaders, Tom Naseby with a strong northern voice, and Philip Dobson, another of the old stalwarts. Remember too Roger Moffat and Randall Hurley, along with Ray Moore and Sandra Chalmers. Just a few of the many who've sat in front of this microphone, a bit old-fashioned perhaps now, but still pretty accurate and reliable, to bring you northern news and weather. In recent times, Tom Heaney and Michael Scott, both of whom have been in broadcasting for many years, have shared much of the news reading with me. And in this final broadcast, we must pay tribute to tried and trusted journalists in every town across the country who supplied us with the news as it happened, from Dick of Bridlington and Goodricke of Hull to Watson of Blackpool and Paddock of Liverpool. Nor must we forget the weathermen who advised with remarkable accuracy whether we should take a raincoat or overcoat, or leave them both at home. Since we've announced the end of the bulletins, we've had many touching letters and phone calls showing us how much you valued these bulletins. Reward enough for what we've tried to achieve. We thank you most sincerely. May I add a personal thank you for all the letters and flowers sent to me. They really were most appreciated. So, this is the end of it all. The end of the news and the weather. And it falls then to me, Dorina Brown, on behalf of us all down the years, to thank you for listening and to say goodbye to you for the last time from Radio 4 North.
It's 5 to 6. Now we go over to Michael Shaw for the weather for the whole of the United Kingdom.